Welcome back to Chaotic Strategies TCG. Hey guys, we got another Magic the Gathering Basics video for you today. Today we're going to be going over Artifacts and Enchantment cards. Again, I brought my buddy Brandon in to give us the rundown on how these cards work. With that, here he is.
Alright guys, so go over Enchantment and Artifacts with you real quick. So with Enchantments, just like any other spell, you'll have your casting costs to be able to play the spell. With Enchantments, you'll be able to play them on your turn only, unless they have the ability, otherwise it's telling you that you can. To play Enchantments, you usually play them in the top right of your playmat, play corner. For the most part, they usually always stay on the field after resolving, unless they are destroyed by an opponent's spell or your own spell, if you try to destroy your own for whatever reason. There's all kinds of different enchantments that will affect the game in all kinds of different ways. Mostly enchantments are a game modifying spell. They'll put some kind of hindering or additional value to the game to change up the gameplay of how things are played. And other things can be simple as just putting 1/1 counter on targets. Slay with Tainted Remedy here has casting cost of 2 non-color and a black. As if an opponent would gain life, that player loses that much life instead. So if any opponent would gain life, that player would lose life instead. That helps with, killing off your opponents by when they think they can gain life, but nope, they don't. This enchantment will always stay on the field until it gets destroyed. And then we have other enchantments like Retreat to Kazandu. It would be activated with its effect of Landfall, which is whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you can choose one, which is +1, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, or you gain 2 life. So whenever you play a land, boom, you will be able to play one of those abilities. Just like with Tainted Remedy, this one will always stay on the field. And then we have other ones that will not necessarily always play in your enchantment zone. Some others, you can enchant lands, you can enchant creatures, and you can enchant other players. So to go over those real quick. So with enchantment that you enchant creature, so in its text box, usually the first thing it will say is enchant creature. So with an enchantment like this, you will not play it in your enchantment zone like usual. You'll enchant a target creature. So with the aspect of Mongoose, enchanted creature can't be the target of spells or abilities. So you would take your creature and you would stack it underneath the card, giving the abilities that the enchantment gives them. So if you have multiple creatures, you can pick whatever one that the best target would be for that enchantment. You can have as many enchantments on a creature as possible, unless that creature has an ability that says it's limited. And when the creature is destroyed by battle, by spell, however say you, and it's destroyed and goes to the graveyard, that enchantment as well is sent to the graveyard. But like with certain enchantments, like with Aspect of Mongoose, it has an ability of when Aspect of Mongoose is put into a graveyard from play, return Aspect of Mongoose to its owner's hand. So I could return that to my hand. But like most enchantments, if it does not have that, it would stay in the graveyard. So with enchantments that enchant land, it's just like the ones that enchant creatures, they will not go in your enchantment zone. So with playing a Market Festival, you'll cast it, and you'll take your target land, and just like with your creatures, you'll stack it underneath. And just like with your creatures, enchanted lands can have as many enchantments to them as possible, or as many as you like. Most of the time, it's not viable. Just like with creatures, if your land was to be destroyed by a spell, and it goes to your graveyard, that enchantment as well. Then we have enchantments that you can enchant players, like as with Torment of Scarabs. Is enchantment Aura Curse. Enchant player. At the beginning of enchanted player's upkeep, that player loses 3 life, unless he or she sacrifices a non-land permanent or discards a card. So just like the enchant lands and enchant creatures, this will not go into your enchantment zone. You'll actually target your player that you want to target or enchant with. You'll give it to that player and say, I enchant you with this, or however you want to say that. And they will put this usually within their enchantment zone. Mind you that the players that you enchant, make sure that you know what you can play on those players. Never forget that you have cards on others' field zones. And if, say with the enchant player cards, if they were able to get it off their field, destroyed it one way or another, it'll go back to your graveyard. So to go over artifacts, there's all kinds of wacky and fun things with artifacts. I like to think of artifacts as a tool in your toolbox to use with your creatures and spells to enhance them. There's all kinds of things about artifacts to know about them, how to play them effectively, and to go over just a little bit of them. So with artifacts, just like any other creatures and spells, they have a summoning cost. Good thing about artifacts is they're all colorless. You can spend whatever color of mana that you want for these, and yeah. So as you play them, they'll usually go up here by your enchantments, and they'll stay there till they're played otherwise. Some have different abilities that they get sent to other zones of the field. But say here with Tangle Bloom, it has the cost of 1, and it gives you the ability, if you tap 1 mana and tap this, you gain 1 life. And like other artifacts, we have Truth Faith Sensor. So it has a summoning cost of 2 and has an ability of equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has vigilance. As long as equipped creature is a human, it gets additional +1/+0. Equipped cost is 2, and the equipped cost as 2, that is after you play this for the 2 costs and it gets set to the enchantment and artifact zone, you'll have to pay an additional 2 to equip it to a target creature. So once it's equipped to a creature, that creature will get the +1/+1 and vigilance, and if it's human, it'll get an additional +1/+0, giving an additional +2/+0 altogether. When an artifact is equipped to a creature, once that creature is destroyed by battle or spell or however say you and sent to the graveyard, the artifact is not sent to the graveyard in fact, but it is actually sent back to the artifact and enchantment zone. From there, it still stays there. You can also, if you have the mana, you can cast it for another 2 and equip it to another creature, say. And say that creature gets destroyed, it goes back to the artifact and enchantment zone and wash, rinse, repeat. From there, it can be destroyed from spells or however abilities, and then from there it would go to the graveyard. From there is dead unless you can pull it back from the graveyard with a different spell or ability. Some artifacts, a lot of artifacts that I pay have a 0 cost, and a 0 cost, you just throw them on the board, you don't gotta pay nothing, they're pretty much a free play. And like with Bonesaw, equipped creature gets +1/+0, so since it's a 0 cost, I throw it on the field, and then I equip it for 1, I can equip it for my creature. If it gets destroyed, it gets sent right back. And then there's a thing such as an artifact creature. Artifact creatures do not go in your artifact and enchantment zones, they will actually go in your creature zones as they are a creature as well as artifact. Some artifacts will act almost as if an enchantment or a spell within themselves that are just on the fields, as in like Springleaf Drum, which has the ability of just tap this and tap an untapped creature you control, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So basically tap this, tap your creature, you got mana. And it in itself is pretty much like an enchantment almost. So that's our quick little throwdown on artifacts and enchantments. Hope you guys like our video and stay tuned for our next one. As always, like, subscribe, and comment on what you guys think about us. Yeah, hope you guys come around for the next one.
And there you have it, guys. That's our video for Magic the Gathering, going over artifact and enchantment cards. If you like today's video, go ahead and hit that like button. Comment, be sure to subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell so that way you are always up to date on our videos being posted weekly. And with that, my friends, we will see you in the next video.